Okay, so let's first do it like this because we'll do it a little while like this. Well, cheers to the snowball.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good microphone.
I do believe
Chrome.
this is the turning point. So I don't know.
Let's take it for a walk.
Let's do it.
As they say in the business.
So what do you think happened with that whale today?
I heard fishing nets that aren't Canadian.
U.S.
Yeah, they think it's deep sea fishing nets from the American side.
Okay.
And apparently, a little feller got caught in it.
Well, I had heard that he was malnourished more than normal.
Oh, I'm sure he lost his pod.
Beach whales.
Yeah.
Or dead.
I'm sure he lost his pod. There's
Near dead whales.
There's a movie out there about a whale that lost its pod, and the residents make it their pet, and other people don't like that. They formed an extremely strong connection with this killer whale because it was like a pet.
This is this is true?
Yeah, they made a movie out, a documentary out of it. But that's probably what happened to this poor little feller.
Okay, and what? Okay, so he was their friend and he hung out near their village? Is that?
Yeah, he would come up to their boats and just want to be pet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So he just wanted the love of something.
Yeah,
another
because
mammal.
he lost all his family and friends.
How long did he live with them? Or is he still living with them?
You know what? I just watched the preview of the doco, and I think just left you on that cliffhanger.
Oh,
just to get you to watch it.
Where is this whale?
I think
where was it?
Up in somewhere in BC.
Oh, really?
Hardy, maybe, or I don't know.
Wow, that should be making. That's like a real life Free Willy. Except Free Willy wasn't
free.
No, he was never free. He was involuntarily there.
Yeah.
It's like a reverse Free Willy.
Yeah.
Oh. Well.
And he was a movie actor too. And he probably got beaten off set.
It's not funny, but I guess.
No. Animal abuse. It's not funny.
But the joke is kind of funny because I get it. You're.
No, imagine he was just a huge dick.
Deserving of
Willie was, yeah. I guess
a complete pretentious whale. What would that mean? What would he want? What would he
krill?
Yeah. He doesn't want sardines. Sardines aren't good enough for him.
No. Russian caviar.
And no Siberian shit. I want my Russian.
So we're recording.
This is true. We are recording. This is our first recording.
Yeah. So this is Ustream.
We are recording to Ustream. I don't believe our video is working though.
That's what I was wondering.
I was looking at it here and it doesn't look to be technically working. You look like you're playing the drums. It looks pretty cool, right? I mean, if that's going to be the image that's there, maybe that should just be our band front. If we're going to have a band,
I hear you. And yeah, that's thought experiment.
Yeah, so that's what we're going with, thought experiment. Because incredible thoughts will stem from
this microphone.
From literally just this microphone,
Our
not from
ball.
anything that we do.
Snowball.
Yeah, we should pimp it a bit. If you don't know if it's that good, maybe we shouldn't pimp it yet.
Well, we gotta listen to this recording.
Yeah, so we're not gonna pimp it yet. But it is the snowball that we
could give it a little hat, I think.
We should. A nice top hat.
Or a sombrero.
Okay. Maybe we could have a collection of hats.
Yes, I agree. And we gotta get the video working so other people can see the selection of hat we choose this week.
Yeah, that's fair. You wouldn't want to leave it just to be our fun little joke. So what are we gonna talk about?
What's happening?
What's happening on the large scale? I think. I mean, this whale thing. That's just
local.
That's local. I mean, if my mom tunes in from Harrow, she might enjoy that, but I don't think it's too topical for them.
What do you think of people going down there to check it out?
To see the whale?
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of it can be an educational lesson for, a young kid going down to the beach with his pops or his mom, and they can be explaining why a whale may be beach, why potential reasons. I mean, you wouldn't go down and just throw rocks at it or poke it with a stick. Yeah, and I'm sure there's people that there was what I had heard. There was people from the aquarium taking samples so they could do some testing. They wanted to know if it had anything run through its system that might be linked to the tsunami.
Oh, Fukushima.
Yeah. So they're
finding tuna full of calcium.
They're finding docks already over here.
Really?
One of the papers just highlighted a dock floated up on the shore.
Oh, I thought you meant a dock covered in radiation. It's like, is it just like green slime?
Yeah, it looks like
turtles are growing.
Ninja Turtles dock. That's what I would expect it to look like.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a huge dock.
It's a very big dock. But see, that's going to move really quick across the water.
Well, it's been how many months?
It just floats, right? It's not going to... It's
year and a half?
Yeah, about... Not a year and a half, I don't...
It was January, or was it March?
Yeah, it's maybe close to a half. We're nearing there anyways. So that was... I knew they were taking samples of it for that, but what they did is they got the Coast Guard to come in and with a huge hovercraft, and then they tow this whale out to where they can observe it and cut it open. And
really?
Yeah, would that not be cool? I mean,
I would like to see them just do it right on the beach.
The whole dissection? Yeah, I mean, that's just like a massive science project right there, but I don't believe it would be very controlled.
Did you see the YouTube video of the people blowing up the whale?
Oh, I've seen or heard of that before. They have to because they have no other way. It's the cheapest way to move them in some places, right?
Chunks of whale goes flying. It's like denting all these cars in the parking lot. It just made such a mess. I think they reconsidered it. It was like a full whale.
Yeah, this is a few years back, I remember hearing about it. That is, they just jam dynamite down it and see what happens. Who's the guy though that says, "Wait a minute, I know Jimmy in the quarry. He's got some TNT."
Whale grade TNT.
Whale grade TNT. Maybe, I think at the time they didn't know really what to do with it.
Yeah. I guess they didn't have hovercrafts available.
No.
Come take it away. That better make his job. Yeah.
I don't. They called the Coast Guard up. Coast Guard said, "No, we're gonna run. That's gonna cost at least 5 Gs. What's a stick of dynamite going for these days?" We could Google it. Well, we could if my mouse worked properly.
Yeah.
Here, I'm on it. What's your ballpark?
The cost of dynamite?
Yeah, one stick.
One stick of dynamite? I'm gonna say like $60.
$60?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just get really.
I haven't priced out explosives in a while.
Okay, you're going 60. I'm gonna say two. Oh man, 230. Maybe not.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
No, you know what though? It's probably way more economical than we're thinking. You probably make it quite easily at home.
Yeah, but you probably want to deter crazies from buying it.
Well, let's say 230. That's mine.
I have a pretty conservative guess there.
How much does dynamite cost? Who do we want to go with?
Pages from Canada.
Oh my God, we are way off. You.
Does it really say $6?
It's on the 8th of January 2004. It was going for $5.
Fucking crazy people can be buying up dynamite.
Okay, here we go. Obviously there's different grades and whatnot. How many people wonder how much does this do?
Well, check out whale grade. Yeah, no shit. Those guys with the whale, it's like, well, it'll cost $1,000 over hovercraft or $1,250 for dynamite.
An M80, I guess, is cha-cha. Nobody's really giving me a straight answer. In the first few, is a stick of dynamite an example of kinetic energy? Is a quarter. What is a stick of? Stick of dynamite contains roughly 2.1. This is not what I want. I feel like we need an answer for.
How much?
We need a Google answer.
Go Pages from Canada.
Let's just go Google answers.
Yellow Page Dynamite Shops.
Dynamite. Miscellaneous. Category. Miscellaneous. Asked by Burkett 7 GA.
Go on eBay.
List price $5. What is a quarter stick of dynamite called? M250? Also, is it illegal in North Carolina to purchase, sell? Don't worry, by the way, it's just research. Okay, here we got a full answer for you. Thanks, 1138 got back to them.
Price.
I know, I just need a price. Wow, they got a lot of
Why is he
detail.
doing an essay to tell you how much it costs?
That is a long one.
And he's provided accurate links.
There's not even
Like,
a price list in there.
oh, it's in there.
And gave an additional tip of $1. I don't get it. Do you pay? Is that how this site works?
This is where
you
you
can
buy.
tip people. Yeah,
Are
you buy
Are you trying to buy dynamite right now?
people. No, but people buy answers. I believe this is how it works.
What kind of fucked up place is this where you gotta buy answers to information?
Maybe it's a way to validate information.
Make money.
Okay, well, I'm still not seeing. I do see $5.
Well, how much is he charging
It doesn't say.
to buy the answer? I mean,
It doesn't say. It says
it's an enigma in an enigma.
maybe we're just not meant to know.
Yeah, we don't want to buy dynamite, but I guess we had a bet on it.
We did.
You think 250?
Prices for explosives are not available online.
Man,
You need a permit in the state of Oklahoma to purchase explosives. Well, that doesn't.
we should just start googling things like dynamite, blueprints of other buildings,
just to see who starts. See who starts.
where I can buy dynamite.
Yeah. What would it be a valid reason? Maybe you want to.
What?
Just in case you're looking to purchase property down off of the coast of White Rock, and it just so happens that whales happen to
Frequent my beach.
and sometimes you can't just pay the tax dollars to remove them.
Yeah, I wonder if that guy will get the charge for a hovercraft. It's technically his front yard, right? The beach is your front of your house.
Well, I don't know. I don't think you own the beach there.
No, you don't. Especially when the tide's out.
Well, this is a good
Well,
topic.
people were upset that the people took their family down there and the dog to go look at it.
Of course they were upset. You know what okay, so I was going for a stroll, and people here in Vancouver tend to be pretty picky about everything, I find. And but lenient at the same it's strange. However, I'm going for a cruise, and you know how you can't really play with in certain beaches you can't play with balls, you can't drink on the beaches, things like this. But yet there's a man that can go down there with this near drone-like helicopter and just zips it all over the beach. And I thought,
He had a helicopter?
Yeah, like a little remote control helicopter. And you see these all the time now.
I've seen them at Future Shop.
Yeah, people frequent them and play with them.
I've never seen anyone using it.
The guy has a cat helicopter now. There's all kinds of
I've
helicopters
seen the
like
cat
that.
helicopter.
That's a whole nother subject.
That's
but
creepy.
so this guy has this, I would say maybe 3 feet in diameter, the actual prop.
So it's like a big one.
So it's kind of big, yeah.
That could injure someone.
Oh yeah, so this is my point, right? People don't care. They're afraid of a frisbee.
I think that's just the new thing.
But guys are just out there with helicopters zooming them around, and I'm thinking,
I don't think they've.
if I'm going for a jog and this guy could just go buy this for $180,
runs out of battery or gas,
zooms it over my head. I don't.
I just don't think the city's upgraded their signs to include helicopters yet, because that's gonna be there. You know it. No, that's a probably more valid complaint than someone throwing a football. Because really, you should be able to throw footballs on a beach, but use your common sense when you're going to throw it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're throwing it over top of people, no, you probably shouldn't be doing that, right? It's just common courtesy.
Do you need laws for that? Or bylaws?
You don't. You shouldn't just ban it outright because of that.
Yeah.
People should be able to self-govern themselves way more than they do, because we got so many ridiculous bylaws.
I think people want to be governed because it's easier. They don't have to think as much.
Well, then fuck those people, man. Because I like to think, and I like to think for myself, and I think you should be able to throw a ball around on the beach, and use your best judgment where you should be throwing it, so you don't ban it for everyone else. Bunch of jackasses.
I had another one. I had another interesting story that I was reading in American news. This lady won a lawsuit in, I'm going to say Florida, but I believe I'm wrong. It might be Georgia. Atlanta. Her husband passed away from a heart attack while having a threesome with
her,
a friend of his, and another lady, not her.
Oh.
So she sued the doctor who had apparently had visits with her husband for malpractice, for not warning him that this kind of conduct was detriment to his health and too strenuous on his heart. So
how did the doctor know?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Doc, I've been having some great threesomes lately. Just no prescriptions, just 3 ways.
my good buddy, Victor, is into this stuff.
He's a client of yours too. He
guy,
probably told you as well, because we should notify our doctors when we're engaging in.
So she
sued.
She sued the
doctor for malpractice.
He was found 60% at fault for his death. And the man who died was found at 40% fault for his own death. And because of that, the wife, the widow, only receives $3 million rather than the $5 million she was seeking. Crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
That just seems so
tough to be a doctor. If you, I mean, we're obviously just looking at surface information.
Yeah.
And I just told you about this.
And
now.
probably rare cases. That could open up the door for a lot. Like, well, you didn't tell me you shouldn't be banging one girl and tickling another guy. And, oh.
So, and the man, he was a 30-year-old. I don't know if it's relevant to the story, but let's throw it out there. He's 31 years old, so he's pretty young.
This guy was 31 that died?
31, and he was a cop. So you would assume he's in decent medical shape. They probably have fitness tests annually, or I don't know what the police.
I don't know.
They should.
I don't know how some senior police would pass it.
Well, I mean, maybe they have a. I don't know. Maybe it's a curve.
I don't know.
Curve.
I agree. If you're chasing people, yeah.
I guess they don't really do. How often do you see cops in foot race though these days?
Just on TV.
I know.
I'm sure it happens more than we know though.
Well, surely. I should.
Don't make me chase you. That's what I always say.
Do you think? Do you picture that? 2 people standing about 5 feet away. 5 feet away, like one cop looking at the guy ready to bolt. He's like, "Don't make me chase you," and then the foot race starts with the music.
The guy drops something.
Yeah. Throws something in another direction and then goes.
Yeah.
That's how I picture it.
Did you hear about the cop that lost her gun downtown?
In Vancouver?
Yeah. She was chasing someone and it must have fallen out, but they couldn't find it.
Well,
it's still in circulation.
That's okay. I mean, she was.
C'est la vie.
So what did she get reprimanded for that? Because they have to have pretty.
I haven't checked back up on it, but
maybe she was doing a really sweet maneuver, jumping like rooftop to rooftop,
sliding over the hood of a car.
Yeah, and really, how at fault can you be considered when you're doing that kind of stuff to protect?
No, that's pretty bad in the cop land.
Well, losing your
firearm.
Yeah, but what if it was a really cool chase? This is
Chief.
My point. Chief, you should have seen the move I pulled off.
I got 2 more days of retirement. You're busting my balls with this?
It's Canada. There's only 5 handguns in the whole of the Western Canada.
I don't know. One of them is a stolen police weapon.
Well, I'm sure it'll turn up in the black market in a pawn shop on West Broadway. That spy shop up there.
Yeah, they can get body armor there.
Yeah, you can get all kinds of cool stuff. Find that gun and shoot each other with the body armor.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of what crossed my mind. So, what about?
What were we talking about?
I don't know. We got a little sidetrack there. We didn't really. This is the whole point. This was our first one, just to test the audio.
Test the distances.
And
see how it sounds from all over different
all angles.
Check it. I'm behind the microphone.
He's right now. Andy is at about we'll say 1 o'clock in comparison to the
2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
I'm sitting.
5 o'clock.
I'm sitting at
This is probably about a 6 o'clock, but deep 6.
Yeah, you're deep 6.
It's deep 6.
Deep 6 shit.
See how that sounds with the deep 6.
Okay, I'm gonna get scientific on you now.
Alright.
Today, this morning, I take my little hour research sessions, and I decided to research. I was doing some more research into some of Newton's gravitational laws, and
standing on the shoulders of giants.
And I was just going into theory after theory, and they were talking about how. What were they talking about? How Newton's theory doesn't fully explain it because there's no way that you can. It's very complex calculus to actually figure out.
He invented his own calculus.
To figure out the masses of both the.
To figure out his own fucking thoughts.
I know, but yes, I know. The story behind it is incredible, which is what I posted today, by the way.
Yeah, I liked it.
But yeah, so this man was just talking about the theory that how, and I think this is more commonly accepted, the donut theory, how the solar system's moving kind of looks like a donut with a cone in between the two of them. So it's always in this.
It's elliptical.
But it's but in that in a cone shape, right? In like there's picture 2 donuts, one here and one here, and then a funneling cone in between the two, so that when this like our solar system's flying around,
like a figure 8.
Kind of, it's swirling down, and then as it swirls down, it gains speed. Yeah, I can do this. So what you have is picture a donut here and a donut here, and then you have about like a cone like that, and you've probably seen that.
And where's the sun?
Let's just say this is our whole solar system, because the sun's moving as well, right? It's got to be orbiting something,
so
right?
So it's the Milky Way?
Or it's falling. So this is the way that it's working is going down, kind of like Marble Madness. Remember how Marble Madness? Those tracks you could set up, and then you flip it, and the marbles go through these whole race track systems. Well, there was always this one that kind of goes around in a circle. Picture, when you donate a coin, and they used to spin around and you race,
like Arby's and Leamington.
So what it would do is Arby's and Leamington always had one, So when it gets to that funnel point, it picks up lots of speed, right?
Yeah.
And then it zips down this funnel. It comes out on the other end in the same shape, right? With creating the same momentum. And then
our whole solar system is doing that?
So the sun is moving, and we continue to be pulled around the sun, and this is how this is all working. And they're all moving.
So it's going like this?
Everything is moving at this kind of rate and speed and shape.
So you're saying, like, here's the sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, whatever.
Yeah, this is you're doing a very micro view of it, though, obviously.
But yeah, so I just want to get this through my head. So then this while these go this way, the sun's gonna do its own.
It's doing its own thing. Yeah. So
but it's a more cone.
Exactly.
Shape.
Yeah.
And then
at the same time, we're flying around those while it's flying around the whole.
But then wouldn't the galaxy, like the arm of the Milky Way, be spinning around too?
Everything's moving. Yeah.
Blown my mind, because I was actually just holy shit. I was actually just really listening about this today too. They're thinking. Like what 2012 is when how everything is gathering and moving faster and faster and faster.
Well, it could be at
and it's going to get to that point.
I mean, I think it would have to be, right? I think it's a bit ridiculous of us to think that the sun's just sitting still. That can't be possible. We know it's expanding, right? But
think of how the astrological signs because we're nearing the end of Pisces, right?
I'm not sure. I don't
follow it. Think of the Sphinx in Egypt. It is supposed to be facing... They date it to when it faces Leo when the sun comes up. Its face... And that was like 10,000 years ago and like 36,000 years ago.
So there you go. So it could be a shape like that. I don't know the math. I'm not an astrophysicist, obviously. I just kind of am a little bit interested, but
that's crazy. Yeah. Because what if that is what caused the polar shifts when it goes so fast and then it slows down?
Could be, but it would seem like but the polar shifts are on a scale of, I used to know this number. I want to say, jeez.
Well, how long would it take for it to complete a full cycle?
They have figured an average, and we're well over the average right now.
Yeah.
Of when the poles shift. I don't know how many times we would go through that.
But I mean, like, how long would this take to be a full cycle? Did it say?
Who knows? No.
Or is he trying to figure that out? Is that what it is? Because that, you're right. You gotta think, like, the sun's not just sitting there. The Milky Way, the galaxies.
It's pretty naive to think that.
Have you heard of the Fibonacci sequence?
Yes, I have. I've used it in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gives a lot of mathematical things to everything, a lot of things in life. And, like, think of it. This kind of looks like it right here. And they're saying, like, as things speed up, like this, frequencies start going higher.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what that looks like. It looks like everything's starting to speed up. And then as the Fibonacci sequence goes, you know how the numbers, like, bring the past, like the last one, then you add it, and then the last one, and you add the next one. That grows like that.
Exponentially.
So it's all speeding up, you know what I mean? As the galaxy grows.
I think we need to make a point here that this is where we'll have somebody who knows a little bit more about
When are we going to get an astrophysicist in here?
We can write Neil deGrasse.
Yeah.
Next time he's in Vancouver.
Hey.
He would love to camp out
Come
with
to
us.
Jesse's bedroom with us.
This is mine now. We did the full switch.
Oh, did you?
It's just the office
Oh,
now.
this is your office now.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering, you had the air mattress in there? I was like, when did Jesse...
That's camping.
Yeah.
Right there. I still have to sort out what
You should put up a tent.
They'd take up the room of the lounge.
When are you getting rid of Jesse's Canucks stuff?
What's soon? Very soon.
Yeah, alright. Office.
Yeah. So yeah, but this is kind of a discussion that can be expected. And hopefully we would also be able to research it a little more if we were a little more prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All of a sudden, speechless.
That's good. That's what we should...
That's a good time for
That's what we should have to do, podcast.
If we
drink a whiskey.
Stumble on our thoughts.
I think that should be our drink.
I enjoy it.
Straight whiskey.
I can agree to that. But I do not want to limit it for guests who may not. Yeah. However, it could be our rules. It is our show.
Rules.
House rules. I mean, it's our...
No, you're right. I don't want to limit it. Maybe it'll just be our thing. They can join in.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel...
I don't know. It's good to sip on.
It is. It's thought-provoking.
Yes.
Gonna have a bookshelf right there, actually right in that corner.
Solid.
It's gonna be set up, so it'll be doing book holding kind of things.
That's what they're really good at.
They are good at that. And what else?
Yeah, you said the poster.
Pardon me?
You said the poster?
Yeah, it's a map, in fact.
Sorry.
A map of the old world.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Perry Rees map?
I don't know.
No.
What's a Perry?
It's one of the oldest maps to date.
I don't believe... Well, no.
Yeah.
No.
If you got a copy of it, you'd be like Nicolas Cage.
So Roldy-esque. One thing that I'm reading about in The Ascent of Money, that book, it's a good book. They have documentaries on it as well, so if you find finance and money topics a little dry, that might be a bit better. But the last chapter of it talks about East versus West and the coming of an age for China mainly, but how Asia is coming around and becoming an economic powerhouse. Mm-hmm. And so it's dating back and talking about the interesting points in history when the British rule started taking over and what ports they took over initially. And it's a nice piece of history tied to money and really any kind of financial transaction, or right from when they started using clay kind of tablets. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating.
What was it in Holland? Was it the flowers?
It does talk about that being one of the bubbles. It doesn't go into great depth about that one.
History of money.
But it is all about the history of money and the role that it's played, and a fascinating role in behind the scenes. You know, when you talk about wars, you talk about who won battles, but you don't talk about the financing of them, really, right? Yeah, it talks about that in a number of aspects. Talks about how the Rothschilds came.
Like, how did they finance wars back in like the 400s? Like when samurais had like armies and.
I think it was. It was a different kind of power.
I guess.
And it was more of a
tribal,
hierarchical, pure dictator style, or one family rule until they get conquered by another, and they just had to conquer their people by making sure the people were either loved by them or feared or whatever, right? I think that's how lots of that took place.
It's so wild to think about that kind of living.
Well,
like 480.
Yeah.
What was going on back then?
Back then,
it's crazy shit. Did you hear about the Bulgarian skeletons they found? Were buried ritualistically so they wouldn't come back as vampires. They're finding all these skeleton bones with like iron spikes right through their chest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that was their tradition, so they wouldn't come back from the dead as vampires.
So they would.
And they find people like
they would be dead, and then they would drive a stake through them.
Probably.
Yeah. Do you think it was something? You know how once you knew you were gonna die, or in battle, you know you're dying, so you can put your. Say you're in war, and you give the guy your gun or something like that, like finish the job. Do you think it was one of those, like where you give him the stake and make sure I don't come back?
They're finding, maybe, yeah, like in,
people
like in the zombie shows.
Yeah, people
they get bit and they're like hide it for a little bit, and then it's like make sure I don't come back.
Yeah, they fear themselves coming back as a vampire.
I mean, they're friends. I don't know. They were finding a few these skeleton remains with like hands bound and like stakes driven through them, and they're iron rods. Like,
well, I don't know too much about that history.
No, I know it's
the story of Dracula and all of these fun things. I don't know too much about it.
I know it started with a guy named like Dragula.
That would be good. That would be a good topic, maybe for a little while.
Mythical monsters.
Well,
and no, he was Vlad the Impaler. That's it. He was Vlad the Impaler, and he would impale people and put them in front of his like castle.
Oh, and they just sounds like a real charmer.
That's how the story of Dracula started. Some guy named Vlad the Impaler.
And
there's like pictures of him like drawn with like eating dinner with like all these bodies on these stakes. And he's a feared man, I guess.
That's really changes the term of don't go over to Mr. Johnson.
No soliciting.
Yeah, no. The origination of no soliciting.
No junk now.
That's all it was. Vladdy or Vlad the Impaler just hated junk mail.
He just hated.
He hated
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, could you imagine if he had one of these new email accounts? He would go up the wall with all the spam you get.
Yeah.
He would be impaling
computers
hanging from. That's silly.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny though.
You know what else is silly? I was reading today about the Salem witch trials in the 1600s, and I started reading as watching a documentary on ancient drugs, and they talked about this one fungus that would grow on the wheat. It was called ergo, and that's exactly it.
Okay.
And basically, it was like a fungus that grew in the rye, and wheat, and when they would make bread out of it, it would, and you eat it, and you eat whatever you ingest it, it would make you like hallucinate, and like paralysis, and like vomit, like all these symptoms. And I'm reading up about this drug ergo, and then it said something. It was on Wikipedia, and it's like something about the Salem witch trials. And you go into it, and then you read like all the signs that they were showing, like completely separate page, but it's like everything that this ergo says it causes, and they think it was a bad batch of bread.
Really?
Community ate.
Okay.
And the people started going crazy, like a lot of people, and they're like, "They're witches." And they tried them and burnt them and hung them.
Yeah,
like kids and women.
That's that's what they did back then, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't understand it, it was the devil.
Witchery and the devil.
What? I know you know about your Newton a little bit. What did people think about his thoughts when he came out with certain theories?
I'm not too sure what other people thought of him. I knew he was like didn't think very highly of himself.
Really?
I don't think so, because he's that was his quote. He's like, "I'm standing on the shoulders of giants," meaning like all these other people before him paved the way for him to do this. I don't know what other people thought.
But did they believe him, or was he dismissed as crazy?
I did read about that. I think there was someone like trying to steal his work, and I'm totally butchering that. I'm not too sure. I might be confusing.
Well, that's okay. We can sort that out another time. It's interesting though to think, who's right now with their theories and who's just dismissed.
That's just it. Like Albert Einstein was really the next to come and build on his theories.
Yeah.
And like, who's really as smart as those guys?
Well, you don't really know until it's usually many years, or at least a few years after. I guess Einstein got to see his work really take fruition, or to see it to fruition. But
what was that? Who's the guy that invented the atom bomb?
What's
his? Starts with an H.
Most of the scientific credit all goes to Einstein studies, though. No,
was it? I thought it was Einstein or.
Well,
I thought there was two of them.
Yeah, it's Albert Einstein, and it was all behind the Manhattan Project, but. Who should we go to on this one?
Wiki answers.
This is what they say. So, the main
Heisenberg. I think it was Heisenberg. No? Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer. That's what I was looking for. I was thinking Heisenberg.
Okay. Yeah, Robert Oppenheimer was the head of the science.
That guy head of science, quoted the Hare Krishna when he first blew it up. Hey?
Sorry.
It's Indian scripture. I think it was Hare Krishna. Like, I am the bringer of death. Or I am the becomer of death. He starts quoting all this, like...
Well, they knew what they were doing, right? When they were... This is what they were,
Yeah, it was the intention.
Contracted to do, basically. So, yeah, Einstein is just given the scientific credit because his invention...
Theorized the atom.
Yeah.
Splitting it,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're getting here. Old Oppenheimer. It's I don't know, it's fascinating to have people. They're not that far off right now. I mean, if you think of the long term of history, I mean, Einstein's not that long ago.
No, it's not.
So there's guys out there that are pressing that
boundary. Have you heard of cold fusion?
Yeah.
Did you hear? I've heard it before, and then I heard it again about this guy in Italy who thinks he created it and wants to market it to Home Depot.
In what sense?
Like, for households.
Yeah? What, so he's going straight to Home Depot with this?
Let's market it. It's genius.
Wouldn't you want to go to...
Industrial?
Yeah, or governments, but I mean...
I think you might be able to make more money if everyone could buy one.
But governments would pay, I think, more to take that. If they could find... Well, maybe if they couldn't find any use for it for defense or something.
I don't think it works, though.
It's just your opinion, eh?
Yeah, maybe it's going to work.
It's not going to work. Never going to come to. I don't know. I like to see one of these really kick into form, but I think we're going to be using the energies we have currently for the next 20 years. We'll see them, we'll hear of them, but they won't be mainstream.
I'll be on the Mars.
Yeah, we'll just be kicking it, doing MTV Mars Cribs or something.
What up? Check out my Mars Pad.
Red Planet Cribs edition.
That's kind of fucked.
That's awesome. I would.
You would go on this reality TV?
There's very.
You know you're not coming back, right? It's like a one-way.
It's a one-way trip.
It's a one-way reality TV show.
I don't think. Can they legally do that?
Yeah.
I guess people want to.
Yeah. Come in.
I don't know. I've never wanted to sign up for any of these other realities. I've been asked by some people before. Just people, yeah. Why don't you try out for this? But
Big Brother.
Or
which ones?
Yeah, like MTV.
Which ones?
Amazing Race, but
yeah,
they did. This was back before I think they allowed Canadians. I don't even know if they do allow Canadians. It was an American thing, right? And
but they go all around the world. What's it matter where you're from?
Yeah, well,
wouldn't it be better if they had world people?
Yeah, but then they would obviously take the cake.
Whatever, that just sucks anyway.
So, well, that one. What's the one where you do the obstacles?
Cash Cab?
No, not Cash Cab. I don't know if you try out for Cash Cab. I think that's just something that happens.
Wipeout.
Wipeout.
You should do Wipeout.
Oh no! See, I have no interest in.
Challenge your brother to it.
I'd like to just do the course, but see this Mars thing.
Not the old camera side of it.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the 15 minutes of fame. But a Mars thing, anything with space would be. That would be, wow.
Yeah, I want to float. Barely. I want to go into orbit and do some acid and just float.
How cool is it going to be when that's just normal? When people have just...
You think it will, eh?
I do. I truly
do. Go to a couple orbits around the Earth.
Yeah.
Charge by the orbit.
Yeah.
Get 5, get 1 free.
Yeah. Punch card.
Jeez.
People still have punch cards then, too.
I would love to do that. Just get so high. Just float around. Shoot water into my mouth. Like, across the room.
That would be your choice of things to do?
I don't know.
Just shooting. I guess. I mean...
No, you throw like a cup, and then you push yourself off, and then catch it.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, but on acid.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine, actually. I don't know. But it would probably be pretty crazy, just normal. So, I'm guessing under the influence, it would be really wild.
Yep.
What about, I think mine, you know how when you're a kid you throw all those rings in the deep end of a pool and you time who can get them the quickest? Yeah. I think I'd do that with M&Ms. Throw like a bag of them in the air.
Just let them bouncing around.
Yeah, and whoever gets them all the quickest. I think The Simpsons, when I was a kid, did something like that. Yeah.
Just floating.
I don't think it was a contest,
That's
but
a cool idea.
I'm going to tweet NASA that they have a competition for the Olympics' sake, between I think there's always a Russian, I think there's an American up there now. Whoever's up there, have an Olympic M&M off.
I like it. You're clogging the instruments.
Is that Apollo 11? Apollo 13?
It's nutty up there.
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty excited about this microphone.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a good first dry run. Blue looks good. It looks real good on the desk. I like it. I think we need to shine it a little bit. It is.
Keep it polished. Get these hats.
Yeah, polish it. Get some hats for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a hat at work.
The lounge will be. We'll call it the study. We'll call this the study. Yeah.
Or what did they call it in Growing Pains with Mr. Seaver? Was that a study?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah.
This. I can't picture the room.
Remember Boner?
No. I remember Mr. Seaver.
The study off Alan Thicke.
I know. Yeah.
Great Canadian.
Yeah. But I can't.
He had it because he was like a psychiatrist or something. While the mom worked as a reporter, he stayed home to take care of the kids.
And he had a study or something that they called it.
No, was it a library? I think he called it a study.
We could call it a library. We're definitely gonna have to acquire some more books. Most of my books are in Ontario, so.
The study. You don't see too many places called the study.
It's called the study.
Or the quads. Or the hallways, the quads, right?
Yeah, that leads to the study.
Yeah.
Meeting the quad. So streaky. That'll probably happen too. Maybe not on the podcast, but well, it does, I guess, every day. But yeah, we'll get it. It'll be a nice situation. So we don't know what the first episode will really entail, or who will be on it. We'll have more people.
Keep it kind of just like what we just did.
Yeah, we may. And
just talk about what's happening.
What's up?
And whatever you want to think of and throw in.
We'll get.
So we got scientific there.
Well, we have a list of friends and foes who we're going to invite on the weekly, maybe bi-weekly. We'll see.
Who do you want to get in tomorrow?
Oh yeah, if we run it back right away.
Jesse, he's our fall man.
He's a fall man. Wednesdays are interesting for him. He'll be coming in from volleyball. Yeah. But yeah, we could get Jesse in on it. We could just go down that list and send one out. It's just I would like this to maybe be a bit more complete, but you know what? Who cares? I guess that's part of the enjoyment. I think.
I'll be here tomorrow like 4.
Yeah.
I'll clean this shit up.
Well, it's not necessarily that, but I need to acquire some items.
Set the study up.
Yeah, the study needs to be set up. So just to be clear, I'm not going with a bed. I'm going with a study. I'm not going to have a bed. I have a different idea for that.
What are you going to sleep on?
Well, when I was in China, I
slept in a closet.
I didn't sleep.
You're looking at the closet. The drawers like in Seinfeld.
Yeah. I think that's more Japanese. Are those Chinese or Japanese? I think they're Japanese.
Somethingese.
So, yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is have a series of mats that I just throw down, roll up. I have a chest.
Yoga mats?
Sorry, I have a chest that needs. Maybe the chest will be the table. Yeah.
I like it.
So what I was thinking is I'm just going to have a bunch of pillows and yoga mats that I'll roll up, throw in there, and then I'll pull out. Throw in there. Yeah, I'm good with that. I sleep well on a hard surface.
That's funny. So this isn't even going to be there?
No, this is just for... we wanted to go camping, so we did this. Indoor urban camping, we call this. Which is...
sleeping on an air mattress in a room.
That's all it is. That's all it is, really.
Once you put some sheets up.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could make a tent. But then I realized you don't really need one.
Oh, you got a roof.
Okay, well...
let's check this out.
On that note, yeah, we're going to call it. Thanks for joining us in our... What do we call this? The pilot?
Yeah.
Maybe the pilot? I don't think we even call it the pilot. It's not fair.
What's a pre-flight pilot? Or no, co-pilot. It's a co-pilot.
It's the co-pilot. Okay. Ciao for now.
See ya.
Peace.